Bitcoin quickly coughing up the gains that it did have from Wednesday on Thursday, which is typically actually the most downside day for Bitcoin, as we know from our Bitcoin daily statistics. But is the rally in jeopardy right now, or essentially what is going on in the more near term? Anyways, other than that, I'm going to welcome you back to the Krown Crypto channel. It's a nice little Friday morning here. I am massively underslept, but you know what? It's okay. We're just going to go right on into it, my friends. And also, I just realized we dinged for the first time above 184,000 subscribers on this channel, which is actually crazy. So welcome to all new people here, and let's just jump right into it. So first things first, I'll start off with the HPDR ranges on the daily for Bitcoin on CME. Obviously, going to be closing today for the weekly as well. And as you can see, Bitcoin just still playing within that 50% of historic returns range. So we looked at this yesterday as well. Despite Bitcoin going up, it did just test the top side of it, and thus far kind of rejected from it as well. But there really isn't much to be decided within this range as long as Bitcoin is within this range, meaning that as long as Bitcoin is trading between 38,350 to the upside versus about just under 34,000 bucks to the downside. This is still to be considered a bullish consolidation, yes, but there's no major change of behavior, meaning no breakout as long as Bitcoin's below this level right here, and no breakdown as long as Bitcoin is essentially above this level over here. Looking at our oscillators, we can see that HPDR volatility is doing what? It's still contracting here. So I suspect that we do have some more time to be spent within this overall range. Again, that would favor the Bulaws long term, but here's the big thing. You can see that Bitcoin is dancing around this sort of, I guess it's like a white colored line here, which represents the median. And as you can see, as long as Bitcoin is above it, well, again, it is going to be interpreted as kind of a position of strength, if you will. The second, though, that Bitcoin starts to close below it is the second that I start to look at Bitcoin as likely to play back onto the downside, the bottom side of this 50% of historical returns range, while volatility can still contract. So, putting these puzzle pieces together, this is currently coming in at about 36,000 bucks. Bitcoin just barely closed above 36,000 bucks yesterday, and well, if we do see a closure below there, then yes, I would be looking for Bitcoin to fill out that space below. Until then, I suppose that there is still some hopium for this rally to continue from this current region, although I would express some serious some serious concern with that in the more near term. As we go over here to our daily stochastic oscillator, well, this is actually the 2-day time frame, but if we go to the daily, same thing. We can see that the daily time frame is going to remain with downside of momentum as long as Bitcoin is below 37,800. Now, it should be known that yes, indeed, there's too many damn trend lines here, is what there really is. But there is a nice trend line regression coming in from the last couple lows here, the lows in September before this rally really got going, and then yet again the ones in kind of middle to late October. And Bitcoin will be, the stochastic oscillator will be testing that today. So what we'd expect if Bitcoin is going to continue from this region is that Bitcoin would not really dip much further below 36,000 bucks again on a closing basis, and reclaim, more importantly, 37,800 in the more near term. I'd say between now and Monday at the latest, meaning that Bitcoin basically needs to make new highs on this rally soon, within, I'd say between now and Monday. If that doesn't happen, very likely we do see the downside emerge. And of course, momentum will, show us that, as we see on the 2-day time frame as well, which is also going to be pointed to the downside as long as Bitcoin is below 37,000 bucks. So again, give that a 2-day buffer here, of course, but ultimately we can start to see some signals that if not met in the next few days, yeah, Bitcoin will pull back. So it's kind of like a race against time here. If basically what I'm trying to say is that if Bitcoin fails to basically make new highs in this rally, between now and Monday, I would expect a greater correction to the bottom side of this range, based off the HPDR over here, and could be as low as 34,000 bucks. Still, long term, that'd actually be bullish. The area where, again, I turn bearish on this and say it's the biggest bull trap I've ever seen, would be below about let's just call it 33,000 bucks at this point. Until then, short-term corrections probably lead towards long-term continuations, as you've been looking at. So anyways, moving on to the next one, we also do see, on the daily here for Bitcoin, there is going to be potential for 3 drives of bearish divergence, kind of an ugly one right here, but there would be another drive right here, presumably if Bitcoin does confirm a local high. How would it confirm a local high? Again, coming back down, closing below 36,000 bucks. At that point, very likely a quick move just below 35, somewhere to like 34.5 to 34.8 region, and try for a bounce there. And then I suspect that Bitcoin would probably fail that bounce and come all the way down to the bottom side of the overall range at 34. We also see that the daily jewel, still kind of currently down here. So, short term, I am kind of leaning a little bit more towards a correction. Has been difficult in the past day, I suspect, but I'd still say between now and Monday. That's the Bulaw's kind of window right there. That would be the Bulaw's window. Anyways, I realized that this video is actually not that long right now, so maybe we can talk about some other things. What else do we want to talk about on this particular video as I scroll through my different tickers? So what I'd actually like to get into is a little bit of traditional market stuff over here, because we haven't covered that in a long time now. And looking at traditional markets, well, I think they kind of speak for themselves. We've been pretty damn bullish on this channel overall for like the macro, especially coming out of 2023, or coming into 2023, I should say. And I'd say that SPY futures right here are kind of doing what you would expect, playing out that hidden bullish divergence that I believe we called out about 4 weeks ago. And it seems like so long ago that we spoke about this. Now the weekly jewel is starting to turn back up and supported by DMI. I suspect that this one actually does try to retest the highs that we did see in 2023, actually, somewhere around 30, sorry, not 30, but 46 plus, 4,600 plus, what I mean to say. Same thing for NASDAQ, a little bit stronger overall. I believe it's already made new highs for the year. Yes, indeed it has. Sorry, no, it has not. It came ever so close to it, but shy by about 13 bucks. But same thing, hidden bullish divergence on that last major low. Weekly RSI gets back to that bullish control zone, and the weekly and the weekly jewel turns up as well. So ultimately, traditional market's still looking like that was the dip, if you will, and not so far off of all-time highs now. Does that benefit Bitcoin and cryptocurrency space? I don't know. They haven't really been playing hand in hand together, but traditionally speaking, that has been a good thing. But kind of hard to say for right now, because we haven't seen that relationship for actually a while. But if you are a believer in kind of the long-term relationship, then perhaps something to be aware of, especially as we kind of head into the back half of November here. But assuming that things do close here or higher, I actually would be still saying the same thing that we said back in August and September, based off of the McClellan oscillator statistics that said, well, lows in that region in pre-election years have typically led to new all-time highs, well, within a year about. So I think that would still be of interest there. Anyways, I will end things right there. I think that's a good place for this particular video. I want to wish you the best as always. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully tomorrow.